Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, uh, good night, depending on where you are. And My name again is Fonta Daniel here in the great state of Texas, here in the United States. I just want uh, thanks my audience. If you get hold of this message, make sure you share them to your family members, your loved ones, your friends, your relatives, your colleagues, whoever. Make sure you share and make sure that you follow me. And it is very crucial that this message get to everyone. And I also like to get your opinions and share your own honest opinions about what is going on. And As we have expected, and my name again is Funta Daniel here in the great state of Texas, here in the United States. Um, I know all of you are very sad in Cameroon and the rest of the world about the outcome. And it wasn't strange because we had anticipated what is going to happen. And I understand how Issa Shiruma Bakari, the presumptive actual elected president of Cameroon, and um, and so I'm going to look at all the various aspects, and I'm going to look at the state of justice system in Cameroon. I'm going to look at the brutal system of arrest and those arrest of members of Issa Shuruma's political members or leadership. Uh, I am going to look at the scamming of the justice system in Cameroon, and I'm going to look at the brutal attempt to eliminate Issa Shuruma. But however, make sure you keep this message sharing and understand what is at stake. And here again, welcome to Funton Daniel here in the great state of Texas, here in the United States. So, first we talk about an attempt. There are several attempts, not just one attempt. There are several attempts. I want to make people here in the United States and the rest of the world to understand what is going on in Cameroon. And first of all, let's look at the crucial aspect of the media. The media is very biased. The media does not focus on what exactly is happening in Cameroon. They do not elaborate details of what is happening in Cameroon. They ignore the factual and they share what they presume to be facts. Now, let's look at the media bias all over the world. We talk about CNN, we talk about BBC, we talk about Fox News. Fox News doesn't broadcast much about Africa. And we talk about other freelance writers about Africa. Now, let's look at why media bias. Well, they said Issa Shiruma presumptively declared himself, which was supposed to have been done by the council of whatever they call it. Let me clarify facts. The result, Issa Shiruma is giving factual report of the result. So each members of the political party is represented at each polling station. So at the end of a polling station, members of both parties sign a declaration of who actually voted. And each of those voting stations, the political members tabulate the result that both parties sign and forward to the Central Committee. And so the Central Committee, which is where the President Presumptive Central Committee locate, where the result is tabulated with each copy of the result of the election. So what happened? La République du Cameroon, led by its own political party called the CPDM, has already prefabricated results. Now you understand. They have their prefabricated result that is contrary to what is being signed by members of the political party. And that is why they said it is only the Constitutional Council can proclaim the result of a winner. So irrelevant whether the Southern Cameroonians or the Southern Cameroonian La République citizens voted. So what is being read by the council or the council is contrary, is what presented to them by the territorial administration, which is a prefabricated report of result. So they simply alter the original numbers of the result and give a prefabricated result to be read. And so you can understand that while Issa Shiruma has the accurate report of the result of the election, the CPDM is reading their prefabricated result, which is being proclaimed. Now you can understand. So I want all of you to take a moment to listen clearly my in-depth analysis and elaborations of what is happening in election in Cameroon. So there are two key facts. Issa Shiruma is based his facts from the physical location where the election took place, whereas the CPDM is reading their prefabricated result. And that is why they are so warmly rely on the Constitutional Council to proclaim the result, which is the result they already fabricated. Now you understand. So that is how the judiciaries or the state. Now, who are the members of this council? That is, or the Supreme Council, whatever they call it. Who are the members? Two of its members are close relatives to the President of the Republic of Cameroon, Paul Biya. Two of the members are closely relative to the President of Cameroon. Now, the rest are all appointed. Now, let's look at the structure of the political system in Cameroon. So, there is no members, unlike, let's look at in an advanced nation like the United States or Britain. So, there are two structures of political party in the United States, and the rest is independent. So, in a Supreme Court system in the United States, you have the Democrat that were appointed by the Republican that were appointed by the Democratic president, and you have the Republican that were appointed by the Republican president. So each of them, when there is a decision, a vote that is in the presence of the Supreme Court, so each members can vote support whichever bill they vote, not based on the party ideology, even though at times there are some party ideology that they may focus, but at times they look at clarity, the evidence and facts presented to the United States Supreme Court. They look at those facts and they make ruling based on those facts presented. So that is how the democratic society, let's say United States, that is how they rule it. Whereas in Cameroon, you have one party system that appoint every aspect of members. So the entire Supreme Court in Cameroon are members appointed by Biya, and out of the total number, two of them are his close relatives. Now you can understand the outcome of what the result will be. So I'm sure that make a clarity for understanding why the result, why they depend on what the council proclaim rather than what the actual poll voting results. So there is contradictory, the exact result and what is being proclaimed. Now let's look at the state of security of Isa Shiroma. I want you to take a close look and understand the state of security of Isa Shiroma is at stake. So the state of security of Isa Shiroma is at stake. There are several numerous attempts to eliminate him in Cameroon. And that's why I want you to share this message to the rest of the world to understand what is happening in Cameroon. And make sure you follow me for further information. So there is several attempts, of which I know 4 of them have been made by the military. The first initials was in which the government assigned the top general in Cameroon to arrest and or eliminate Isa Shiroma, and he adamantly refused, stating that that is not the role of the military. The military is to protect the integrity, the sovereign nation of Cameroon, not to eliminate party officials because they disagree on election. So he refused. So others were assigned to still carry on similar duties. So those who actually went to Garoua to eliminate Isa Shiroma met a strong resistance from citizens, goodwill citizens, there to protect the president, the newly elected president Isa Shiroma. The essence was to eliminate him so that no further instruction or further any account can be debated. So, but unfortunately, they met a strong resistance. The first set of the military that were assigned were eliminated, and the second set were also eliminated. Now they have problem to penetrate to the location where the president-elect, the presumptive president-elect Isa Shiroma, is residing in Garoua. So what happened now? There is another method because they can't break through or penetrate. So they've decided to send snipers. They've decided to send snipers to eliminate Isa Shiroma. And they are all surrounded the various tall buildings. And one of the security was eliminated or killed, but several have not. But there is still strong resistance. And so every tall building surrounding Isa Shiroma's residence are being occupied by some of Pobia snipers. Snipers is especially trained military. They use special guns with telescopic lenses and use it to focus and shot direct. So that is what they call snipers. So there's special telescopic guns using an tall building. So they've targeted and they was able to eliminate one of the security guards, if I'm not mistakenly. But they have felt many resistance. Now, let's look at the parliamentary system. The law prevent Pobia to assume leadership because he's above the age limit to become president of Cameroon. So today, Parliament passed an urgent clause eliminate age limit for Pobia to be able to resume duty. So there is a law just passed today as we speak, eliminate age limit, which would have prevent Bia to assume office. So now they pass a new order, parliamentary order, allow him abolishing age limit today. So that to you to understand the kangaroo parliament of Cameroon. The kangaroo parliament of Cameroon. Now let's look crucially. How is it? So you have the entire system that is made up of one political structure. They have what they call the parliament and the Senate. In the Senate, 100 senators, 30 of them are appointed by Biya himself. And so what do we expect? Those appointed will be answerable to Biya, not to the people of Cameroon. And so 70 are distributed from various parties. And with all those numbers, CPDM has overall 80%. And the rest of the other political parties share the rest. So if all this, so the 30 members plus the voted members are overwhelmingly CPDM. And so therefore that gives him a roadblock that they can do whatever it takes without any resistance from any political party. Not to talk about the corruption or the voting and everything, which I already earlier elaborate. So there is no indication that there is an effective one will expect from the result of election in Cameroon. Now let's look at the state of the mental health of the president of Cameroon. Let's look at the state of the mental health. Several ministers in Cameroon have indicated for the past 10 years they have not been able to meet with Paul Biya over 10 years. So this is not just an outrageous, it gives you the clarity that the president is not the actual commander of Cameroon. Now, for something that people do not know about Paul Biya is mentally, he is in the worst state of his dementia. Paul Biya is in the worst state of his dementia. How? One, Paul Biya does not know his office that he's been going there for the past 43 years. Paul Biya does not remember his bedroom that he's been living there for the past 43 years. Paul Biya does not remember the wife's name. Paul Biya does not remember the daughter's or the son's name. Paul Biya walked around like a ghost. And that is why you see the wife try to narrow the gap and very always close to him to eliminate the gap or discrepancy that can be seen. So the wife is anxiously close by, make sure those gaps are eliminated. So Paul Biya is not mentally capable to process any information relate to day-to-day running activities of the government. So now, one will ask, who else is running the system? And that's a good question. Who else is running the system? So you have the wife, which is Chantal Biya, and the Secretary General at the presidency, Ngongo Ferdinand. So those are the two people. And Apolla Taganji is just a stewardship. He's just a stewardship that follow instruction from these two people, two identical people, Ngongo and Chantal Biya. Those are the two people that are running the country. One will ask, what about the Prime Minister? The Prime Minister doesn't exist in Cameroon. He cannot even appoint his own director of cabinet or private secretary to the Prime Minister's office are appointed by the president, by Etudi, not him. So he's basically a figurehead that just put there somewhere without any portfolio. So Prime Minister in Cameroon is just a post without a portfolio, because basically he cannot even appoint his own cabinet members. He cannot even appoint directors. He cannot even appoint his private secretary, which manages their activities, are appointed by the president of La République du Cameroon. So now, what is the function of the post of a prime minister? It's basically functionless. It's a post without a portfolio. So now, back to the state and the mental health of the president of La République du Cameroon. Again, he cannot in any form process informations. He cannot. So Chantabia and Ngongo are the two individuals that is running, and the rest, what are the general and everything, that's just a stewardship. And he uses a signature stamp to stamp all the signature. That's why you see various appointments that the president has signed this, the president has not. Let's look at the differences between the two candidates. Issa Shiruma is able to articulate what is going on in reality. Issa Shiruma is able to articulate what is going on in Cameroon in reality live. When a woman was shot, school teacher was shot dead by the military, he was able to analyze it and point it out what happened. When his political party members being harassed, arrested by the regime because they forced them to sign a document to represent the party, they refused, they were being arrested, and all his top political members have been arrested by the regime, commanded by Ngongo, because Paul Biya, in the essence, doesn't remember any information, what is happening within the country activities. So Ngongo and Chantabia are the two architects that is running the country. And they are not elected president. They are not president of Cameroon, but they are the one running the show. So Paul Biya, the entire proclamation and the entire activities prior to the election, he has not articulate why Cameroonians should vote him as the president of Cameroon. He has not carried on any articulation or explain why the Cameroon should choose him to vote him. Everything has all been pre-packaged until the final result being proclaimed. So now you can understand exactly what is happening in Cameroon. Now you can understand what is happening in Cameroon. So now, what is next? What is next is what you want to wait for my next broadcast, my next audio related to what is the plan moving forward. What is the next plan moving forward? That is the key point. And here again, my name is Funton Daniel, here in the great state of Texas, here in the United States. I wish you all a happy and a wonderful evening. And citizens of Cameroon, you have a long way and you don't give up. Fellow citizens of Cameroonians, you do not give up, but wait for the next plan of action in my next audio. And make sure you share to everyone, family, friends, and all over the world. Make sure you keep this message floating. Thank you and have a wonderful day.